What's going on, guys? My name is Tricky. Now before the video actually starts, I just like to say sorry I haven't been uploading for like 2 weeks because one, I've been on a holiday, and two, I spent another week trying to sort everything out so I can start uploading again. So yeah, if you do enjoy this video, please leave a like and subscribe if you're new. And this video was really hard to edit because the voice didn't record, so I had to overlay my voice. So yeah, here's the video, guys. What is going on, guys? My name is Tricky and welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial I'm going to be teaching you how to make a 3D render and a 3D header. So it's basically a 2-in-1 video, and this is what you're going to be making on screen right now. So yeah, that's really cool. You're going to be making something like this, like that. So yeah, let's just get into the video. What you're going to do is just add a text, edit the text to say whatever you want it to say. I'm going to make it say Tricky, which is my name, and then what you do is just adjust the size to whatever you want, and then go to fonts. I'm going to be using a font called Black Ball. Now that you have your text, what you want to do is just go down to 3D and enable it, and then go onto your depth and change it to about 5, which is what I'm going for. And then go down to your X and Y rotation and just mess around with it a little bit, see how you like it. And then go to 3D text and turn it off, and then export that as a PNG, and then turn your 3D text on and then export that as a PNG, and then go back on the 3D text and change the depth to about triple whatever you put it as. So since it was 5, I'm going to change it to 15 and just export that as a PNG, and that is literally all the renders that you need. And then what you do now is just go over to PS Touch. Now I just made a project that is 1500 by 500, which is a Twitter header size, and you got plenty of room to use as well. So now that you've done that, what you do is go to add image, and just go to Pixel Lab folder, and then add the 3 renders that you just made, the thick 3D one, the thin 3D one, and finally the 2D one, which is not 3D obviously. And then we do is just turn them all off and then go into the 3D one, the thick 3D one. So yeah, this should be the bottom one, that one right there. And then what you do is just make it bigger, or it's like as big as you want it, and just overlay the other two, just like right on top of each other, so they fit. So yeah, once you've done that, you should have something like this. You should have your 2D layer, your thin 3D layer, and your big 3D layer, all in order. So 2D, thick at the bottom. Yeah. What you do next is just add some textures. Now these textures are in my Centric GFX pack, which the link will be in the description below, as well as the font. So what you do is make it as big as possible, but not too big that it goes pixelated. And then just select the 3D one, the big one, and then go back onto the text and press extract, and then put it right above the big 3D one, and just delete the one from Pixel Lab. And then just repeat this with different textures on the other renders. So once you've done that, you should have something like this. And what you do now is just duplicate the thin 2D layer, no, the thin 3D layer, sorry. Just duplicate that and drag it all the way down to the bottom, and then just make it smaller, but make it still in line with the other text. So just shrink it and then make it just below it, so you can still see it, but it's just there. Gives it more depth basically. Once you've done that, what you do is just select pixels on the 2D layer and then make an empty layer, and then go to fill and stroke and change it to stroke, and then change the width to around about 10, maybe 8. You're going to 8, and then just extract that so you have like this kind of inner glow kind of thing. And what we do is just change that to overlay, and then duplicate it, and then change the opacity down a bit to whatever you want, and then go to FX basic, change the tint and the luminosity all the way down, and change the color to whatever. I'm just going to change it to blue, and yeah, just there we go. You can mess around with it if you want. I'm just going to leave it as blue. And once you've done that, what you need to do is duplicate the overlay layer, the outline layer you just made. So just duplicate that one, invert it, and then change the blend mode to normal, go into effects, Gaussian blur, but not too much, but just enough where you can see it. You may have to duplicate it so you can see it a bit more, maybe not, but it's up to you. Add a bit more Gaussian blur, and then merge them two layers together if you have duplicated it, and then go to select pixels and extract the outline on the 2D layer, and then select pixels on the overlay and then extract, so you get something like this. See, it's kind of like a bit more in depth. And then what we do is duplicate the thick 3D layer and then add a tint to it, and make it an overlay, so you get that kind of cool effect. And now I'm just gonna add a texture as a background, just start the header. So that's pretty much the render done. I'm just gonna add a background to start the header part. What we do is just add a tint to it. I'm just using this background anyway. Just add a tint of blue, whatever color you want to use, and then make an empty layer and get your paintbrush tool, and then set the size to kind of big. And let's do random dots on the text. Not too many and not too little. This is just to give it that kind of a blur effect. And then go to effects, Gaussian blur, and then go to blend mode, linear dodge, and it gives you that kind of a cool blurry effect. And you can do this too with the tinted 3D layer you just set it to linear dodge and give it a bit of Gaussian blur. But if you want to do a really cool grunge kind of theme, don't add too much glow, but if you're not, then you go ahead, so that's up to you. And then what you're gonna do is add a new layer, and then get your paintbrush tool and then make this really big and put it right in the center at the top, and then set it to linear dodge. Well, yeah, go on, linear dodge. And then what you do is just turn off all the other layers, and so even the background, and then just save that, and then save that as a PNG, so you just have the render as a PNG. And then what you do is just import that PNG, so it saves you messing up. And what we do is just put that at the bottom. What you do is you duplicate it and then tilt it and then make it really big. Put it in both corners. So I'm gonna put it in the top left corner now, and then the one you just made, just duplicate it, put it in the bottom right, or top right, bottom left, whatever you want to do, and then merge them two layers together. And then what we do is get your blur tool and make the brush 200, and then go on the corners and just give it a bit of blur. It does lag a bit, but it works, so you might have to wait a few seconds. Just give it a bit of blur, not too much though. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then what you do is just fill the whole space up, and then select pixels, go to transform and go into -20, and then go into the pencil tool and press clear, so you just have this kind of outline or rectangle. And then go to effects, Gaussian blur, and then just add a little bit of blur to it. You can max it out or not, it's up to you. And then that gives it even more kind of a depth and some more lighting. And now you've done that, you can add some particles. Now these are also my pack, so I'm just gonna go to this blue one right here. With this blue one, what you do is just go to the selection tool and then just clear the bottom bit, because that's just a waste of space, that bit, and just put it right in the center. And then go to either blend mode, and then go to either screen or linear dodge. Screen just makes it like a PNG, linear dodge makes it brighter, so that's up to you on what you want to do. And what we'll do next is add some stocks. So this fire one right here, this one's really cool. What we do is just like resize it, then go to, or either duplicate it, put it in the top left, and then center it, and go to blend mode, and then linear dodge or screen, depending on what you want to do. I'm just going to set both the screen, and then merge these two layers together, and then go to effects, and then tint, and then just give it that blue tint, and then put it all the way at the bottom of the everything, so just above the texture, but at the bottom of everything else. And then you can duplicate this and go to effects and give it a Gaussian blur, so give it that glow effect, but that's up to you. Maybe a bit too much glow for me, but it's up to you what you want to do, so you can either have it on or off. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this tutorial. I hope you have enjoyed it, because this video has been a pain to make. So if you haven't liked it, please leave a like, and if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. That would really help me out a lot. And yeah, at the end of this video you're going to see a couple of pictures of what it looks like when I added the filter from Polar. So yeah, links are in the description for the pack and the font. So yeah, my name's Tricky, peace.